We've got mcill and Space Station Silicon Valley. This is a fantastic game. You should definitely stick around. The Summer Games Done Quick 2015, hosted by Speed's Demos Archive and Speedruns Live. We do have a few donations here to read. $100 from Team Puffs, entertaining run, but remember, puffs prevent pausing. $50 from Anonymous, love your work, guys. Amazing concept and great execution. This donation for use of established 90s cheetah lore in stream. $50 from Yura. Hello everyone, it's always a pleasure to see the Games Done Quick events. Let's go to the million this year again. Shout out to the French Restream for those silly games with a crazy man on commentary. $50 from Lily215. Hey everyone, I've lost count of how many GDQs I've watched and donated to, but this is my second one with my other half. We both love these events wholeheartedly and thank each and every last person involved in creating such amazing events for such a great cause. Much love from Australia. And $20 from Covix122. I have no words other than you guys are awesome. Love that this is going to a great cause while having your fun and entertaining us all. We do have several sponsors for the event. One of them is Capcom. There are 6 games in the Mega Man Legacy series, Mega Man 1 through 6. It's coming to the 3DS this winter, and this summer it's coming to the PS4, the X1, and PC for $14.99. And it has a new challenge mode that remixes levels from the 6 games to give a new type of challenge to fans, and it has leaderboards. Another cool thing we have here is the Yeti. It's a t-shirt website, and it's been supporting Games Done Quick events since 2012. If you go to theyeti.com, which is YETEE.com, you can buy t-shirts. And every t-shirt, $3 from that is going straight to Doctors Without Borders, which is the charity we're raising money for here. And there's so many artists who donate to this. There's very cool designs. I would highly encourage you to check it out. And there are various runners here with t-shirts that I'm sure you've seen on stream as well. They're all over the place here. It's really cool to see. So that's the Yeti.com, YETEE.com. Just as a quick update on our donation incentive of Doom, changing the Doom guy to Twitch emotes, that's $1,460 out of $5,000. So that's still a ways to go, but you've still got a few events, few games rather, to donate for that. And you can always go to the donation tracker and find something to put your money towards with the event, as well as donating to Doctors Without Borders. And it looks like we're almost ready here with the run.
Is it possible to get game volume down? Sure. Okay. We good to go then? Anytime? Okay. All right. 3, 2, 1, go. All right. Hello, everyone. My name is mcill. I'll be running this game. This is my co-pilot, Mashy. He's done 2 runs of this game, so that deserves him a spot on this couch. But more importantly, this game is Space Station Silicon Valley. It's a 3D platformer for the N64. It was developed by DMA, better known today as Rockstar. And that's, before you ask, it's the same Rockstar of GTA fame. And so before they had a license to print money, they made this game. What you're seeing right now is the plot. Basically, a space station was constructed in the year 2001. 7 minutes after construction was completed, it disappeared. 1,000 years later, the space station has reappeared, and so the Earth is now in trouble for some reason. Anyway, enter our two heroes. There's Dan Danger on the left and Evo the robot on the right. They're heroes for hire, 200 creds, and they've been sent out to investigate the space station. And we'll see how that goes. It's not going well. So they're going to crash land on the space station. And meanwhile, we have two other protagonists here. So we've got Flossie the sheep, and we have Roger Z. So shout outs to Roger Z. Let's see those Roger Z's in chat. Fill the screen up. Roger Z and Flossie are robot animals. They inhabit the space station. All of the inhabitants of the space station are robot animals. So that's important to note for the game. Not only are they robot animals, but they are robot animals who are in love. And so this game answers the important question, which is, do robots have feelings? And the answer is yes. So that's interesting news. And rip Roger. He's dead now. So see ya. So what's going to happen now, Evo's going to eject from the spaceship. And his body is going to explode into 4 different parts that scatter around the space station. We're left playing as this microchip Evo, but we don't actually play as this microchip specifically for the entire game. The microchip has the ability to inhabit the corpses of dead robot animals. And so the first thing we're going to do is reanimate Roger and kiss Flossie to death. So there we have the main mechanic in the game where you have the ability to switch between animals. Different animals have different abilities. They have one mapped to the A button, one to the B button, and you need to use those abilities to solve different puzzles throughout the game. I did not finish the mission. I know what happened. If you complete 2 objectives at the same time, the game doesn't like that. So I happened to complete the objective of playing as the sheep and complete the objective of getting the energy at the same time. But yeah, I guess it ate the input for being the sheep. It was 1 level down. Fortunately, relatively slow. So what you guys are watching right now is an any % run of the game. Of course, that means get to the end of the game with no restrictions. What that means for SSSV is you have to play through and beat every level to unlock the final level. Game is laid out a little bit like a Mega Man game in the sense that you have a level select screen, and the final stage can't be selected until you've beaten every other stage in the game. And so I'll be beating every level in the game to get to the last level. To beat a level, you have to complete a series of objectives that are sometimes random, sometimes directly related to actually getting to the end of level teleporter. Right now I'm trying to herd these sheep into this pen. There we go, objective complete. And so you complete the objectives and the teleporter will activate, and then you can get out of the level and it's done. So one more objective here is to play as a mouse. When I get the mouse, I'm going to attempt to do a cutscene skip. So by picking up the mouse, a cutscene is going to play that shows me that the teleporter has activated. If I can make it onto the teleporter before that cutscene starts, then I skip the cutscene, and it looks like I made it. So that's about a 7-second time save. That's a unique cutscene skip in this game. There are other cutscene skips, but they all follow a general other trend that I'll talk about in the next level probably. So I'm playing as a mouse right now. It's not a normal mouse. As I said, all of the animals on this space station are robot animals, and so they don't necessarily have the same features as regular animals. This mouse, in this case, has wheels instead of feet, and so it's a racing mouse. It's the first of many unique animals on the space station, and we'll be seeing more throughout the run. So yeah, to complete all of these objectives in the level, you have to find the right animal to use. That was bad. You have to find the right animals to use to complete the objective. And so sometimes you'll need an animal that can jump, sometimes you'll need an animal that can attack, or fly, or move really fast, and sometimes you'll need a combination of these. So the game is a mixture of combat to kill the animal that you need to complete the objective, and then doing the platforming or the solving the puzzle that you need to complete. So in this specific instance, I need to use a sheep to hover to the exit using its hovering abilities. And so I have to play as the sheep, even though it's a slower animal, because that's the only way to get to the exit. This level is cycle-based. The elevator goes up and down. It takes about 12 seconds per cycle, and I missed the good cycle, unfortunately. So here I am hovering to the exit, and this is the thing only the sheep can do. So you have to find the right animals to solve the right puzzle. All right, so while I'm playing through the battery farm, I'll be explaining how normal cutscene skips work. We've already seen one cutscene skip in the game, but that one is a little bit unique. Most cutscenes in the game play out when you activate them, and when they start, you lose control of your animal. And so, of course, that prevents you from progressing through the level until the cutscene's done. An example of that is coming up right when I hit the switch on the other side of the bridge. The ram's not even supposed to be able to jump over the bridge, but you can do it just right if you jump at the right time. So there's a cutscene, but I couldn't move during it. That's true for almost every cutscene in the game. However, if you're transitioning between animals or switching from Evo the microchip into an animal, when the cutscene starts, then you can retain control of the animal and continue through the level while the cutscene plays. This can be a minor time save or it can be a major time save, depending on how long the cutscene is. And some cutscene skips are really easy to do. Some of them are frame perfect. Or I say they're frame perfect, but I don't actually know. All I know is that they're pretty hard to do, so we'll call them frame perfect. So I had to go out of my way there to grow some carrots. That's just an unfortunate side objective that never gets used. If you're playing the game properly, you would have to use it, but I'm not. So I mentioned the cutscene skip because I'll be using the cutscene skip in this level right here. Level 5 is the engine room, and it is the first major speedrunning level in the game. I'll be skipping the entire thing using 3 different strats. So first off, I'm going to head off to the left and collect a key card. And to do that, you jump into a pool of lava and tail whip a scientist. And that is not how you are intended to do that, but I did it that way. So that's early key card. Picking up the key card activates a cutscene, which is going to start right about now. So I'll jump out of the animal, jump back into it. Cutscene starts. And I now am controlling the animal while the cutscene plays, so I can still progress through the level. This is the biggest cutscene skip in the game because the cutscene is very long. It kind of exemplifies how it can be difficult to play a cutscene skip optimally because I can't see myself, so I don't know where I am on the level, and the camera's rotating, so you can get disoriented pretty easily. Fortunately, I've done this run many times, so I sort of know my way around that specific cutscene. Anyway, the last thing I need to do is teleport down here and hit this switch. And I'm supposed to ride that platform to get to the exit, but I can't because I just don't jump down here. So this is the first game-breaking or run-ending skip in the game, I should say. It's called the Leap of Fox. I'm going to teleport onto the platform. I'm dead. Okay. If you teleport just right onto the platform, you get a boost up onto the exit. I'm going to give it one more go, but if I don't get it the second time, I'll do some backup strats. Fortunately, deaths in this game are relatively forgiving. The game saves every time you beat a level. So you don't have to restart the game. You don't have to do any safety saving or anything like that because you can just reselect the level you want to get into. So once again with the cutscene skip, out of the animal, into the animal. What popped up last time was a new animal cutscene for the fox. Every time you enter a new animal, a cutscene starts that shows the stats of the animal. But you can skip it by pushing A. And so I'll be skipping them, of course. Okay, let's give it one more go. I took fall damage on the last leap of fox, and that fall damage in this game is extremely dangerous. It takes 49% of your health, and so in this case, because you also end up landing in a pit of lava, you're pretty much done. All right, we'll give it one more go here. Got it. There we go. So that's how it would have played out the first time. I'm thankful I got it second try, though, because every time you fail it, I think it's about a minute and a half time loss. But second try is acceptable. So you'll notice a change in scenery here. We've just reached the Arctic. Space Station Silicon Valley is comprised of 4 sectors. We've got Europe, which we just came from, the Arctic, which is where we are right now, the jungle, and the desert. To get to the next sector, you have to beat 3 levels from the previous sector. So 3 from Europe to get the Arctic, 3 from the Arctic for the jungle, and then 3 from the jungle to get the desert. Each different area has a different set of animals, and so if you get bored of one area, you can switch to the next one and play as a new set of animals. For the sake of speedrunning this game, I do the levels out of order, and so even though this is a marathon run and I need to beat the levels all anyway, I could just play through the game normally. But I'm going to play through the levels in the order that I normally do it in a run. And I'm playing through them with the intent of getting to the hardest levels first, so that if I were to have to reset, I could reset earlier in the run as opposed to later in the run. As I said, this is marathon, so I can't reset, unfortunately. Otherwise, I would have already. But what that means for the route is that I get to the engine room as quickly as possible to do that trick that I failed the first time, the leap of fox. And then once I do that, my next goal is to get to the desert to play a level called Whirlwind Tour, which is pretty infamous for people who know the speedrun of this game. It's basically an RNG-based skip that is necessary, so I try to get there as quickly as possible. So if if my run ends due to RNG, I get to reset earlier instead of right near the end of the run. All right, so normally what you're supposed to do is kill a walrus right here, and the walrus is the ability to basically go off this jump and get on top of this cliff. But I'm going to do what I call the cliff clip. If I can get on top of the cliff just at the top of my hover, then I can get up as the rabbit instead of having to kill a walrus. So saves a bunch of time. And before you ask, yes, the objective on this level is to collect the 3 heads. We don't need to think too hard about it. This game was made by the people who made GTA, so that might answer some questions. The next level has basically it's laid out in a way that a lot of games have, where they put the end objective of the level right at the start, and then as you approach it, they take it away from you, and then you're supposed to play through the rest of the level to actually get back to it. If I could land on the teleporter. There we go. And so, being a speedrunner, you want to find a way to not have to play through the level, just collect it right at the start. So my objective here is to kill a seagull down at the bottom of this slope. But when I reach close to the bottom, the seagull is programmed to fly away. So I'm going to try to kill it while staying on top of the slope. That was a really good first volley. Normally if you get half of the health of the seagull in one go, then that's considered good. So 2 rounds is pretty awesome. That skip I was going to call the seagull kill, but a guy from my chat decided that that was not an epic enough name, so I renamed it the Omega Snowball Frenzy. And that was a really good one. At this point, I'm basically going to be pushing some buttons and watching a cutscene, so it's a good time for some donations.
Awesome. We have a lot, actually. Quite a few to read. So first off, we have a $50 donation from Anonymous. Congrats on SGDQ, mcill. Hoping for a double gorilla. It's coming up later. $5 from Ludovician. Hey, mcill, been waiting for this run for ages. Glad to see you at a GDQ event finally. Stack the animals. $30 from Pineapple Man. Money to help those doctors activate no clip and escape those borders. $50 from Timp. A year and a half ago, this game had a speedrunning community of 2 people, myself and Solidus Soap. Back then, we used to dream of a sub 130 time. I had to set my alarm to wake up to donate during this fantastic game and see mcill beat it and achieve that time we always dreamed of. Good luck to the runner, and of course, kill the animals.
All right, thanks everyone. By the way, double gorilla is probably not going to happen, and stacking the animals is also not going to happen. That stacking the animals isn't even really a thing. It's just a fun thing I do on the side. It's not a speed run. But right now we've done the 3 levels in the Arctic, so we're going to hit up the jungle for a few levels now. And so we'll use some combat strategy to kill this elephant. I'm going to manipulate him to stand in between me and a second elephant. And so he's caught in the crossfire, and the second elephant actually does most of the damage there. Kills the elephant pretty quick. Next, I'm going to jump out of the animal and use the corpse as a platform to land Evo on to hit this switch. And then after that, I'm going to do a cutscene skip by jumping back into the animal when the cutscene starts. By using the elephant as a platform, I avoid having to use an animal that has the ability to jump to get that switch. And that's, of course, faster. Otherwise, I would have found the animal. Generally, you don't want to go out of your way to kill animals that you don't need to kill for objectives, but I am going to kill these hyenas because they can disrupt my combat with the piranhas right here. So more combat strategy. I'm going to be grouping up these piranhas so that I can kill all 3 of them at the same time with the AoE of my cannon shells. That's definitely just faster than killing them one at a time. Next level is Jungle Doldrums, and it has my favorite skip in the game. I think it's the flashiest one in the run, not the flashiest glitch that you can do overall. But it's called the hippo jump, and so to do that, we need to get a hippo. So first thing we do is laugh the hippo to death. That's the hyena's ability. That's how it attacks. There we go. Animals are immobilized when they're laughing, and so the game becomes easy mode when you're killing them as the hyena. So here's the hippo. He's got the ability to drop poop mines, so there's a lot of poop in this game, mostly as mines. I have to go out of my way to hit this switch because that's an objective. If I don't hit it, the teleporter won't activate. But now we get to do the hippo jump. What you need to do is put this hippo into a tree, this tree trunk, and then you put the hyena on top of it, and then rapidly switch between the two. with surprising results. So let's see how it goes. Up and at them. Whoa, that was actually one of the highest I've ever done. But that allows me to jump over the wall and skip the entire level. The last thing I need to do is kill this parrot, and we're going to laugh it to death. What you're going to see me do, though, is jump into and out of the hyena, and that's to recharge my attack energy faster. If you look in the bottom left corner of the screen, you'll see 4 gauges. The green bar is my health. The blue bar is the health of the animal that I'm attacking. And then you have the blue circle and the green circle, which are the energy that I have mapped to my A button and my B button. And so when the green circle or the blue circle are empty, I can't use the respective abilities. You have to wait for the ability or the energy to recharge before you can use it again. And different animals have different recharge rates, and Evo is no exception. So in this instance, Evo's recharge rate for the B button ability is faster than the hyena's. So I jump out of the hyena to recharge my B button ability and then jump back into the hyena when it's done recharging. So coming up is another skip that's sort of the cousin to the hippo jump, but you don't go as high. This is the gorilla jump. To do that, we need some gorillas. I'm going to, again, laugh these guys to death. They're immobilized. I also laugh at the animals while they're off screen, and that puts them in a state where they continue to laugh immediately after I start laughing again. Normally, there's sort of a warm-up period where they don't take damage, but if they're off screen, then they remain in the laughing state, so you don't have to warm them up with their terrible jokes at first. All right, so the gorilla jump requires you to have a gorilla holding an object, and you put it up in an area that you want to jump. Then you get another animal, jump on the gorilla's shoulders, and walk into the barrel, and that sends you flying. In this case, it takes me right to the objective of this level, which is freeing the magic rope. And this magic rope takes me to the exit. While it does that, there's room for some more donations.
Awesome. We have one from Stun Gun Millie for $50. This is my 3rd Games Done Quick to watch, and I'm loving it more every time. I was going to go to bed soon, but now I will be up for another hour. Silicon Valley was a favorite of mine growing up. Much thanks for the awesome games played by awesome runners for an even more awesome cause. And we are raising money for the Doctors Without Borders, and we are currently at about $445,000. So right close to 450. Let's see if we can get that maybe by the end of Silly Games Done Quick. Maybe? We'll see.
All right, let's get your donations in, everyone. All right, so now we're down 3 levels in the jungle, which means we hit up the desert so we can get closer and closer to Whirlwind Tour. The desert starts off with playing as the coolest animal in the game. This is the armed desert fox. Look at all of his swagger. This guy is awesome. What I just picked up there was a purple orb. It's called a power cell. Power cells don't do anything in terms of an any percent run, but they are one of the most important parts of the 99% run of this game. 99% is different than any percent in the sense that you have to complete as much of the game as possible. So there's 15 power cells per level, and so you need to, in addition to beating the level, you have to collect all 15 power cells. Each level also has a hidden bonus objective, and if you complete that, then a trophy will spawn, and you need to collect 1 trophy per level. The final requirement is to play as every animal, which I'm not going to be doing in any percent, unfortunately. The reason why it's called 99% and not 100% is because, unfortunately, when this game was programmed, they put one of the trophies into the game, but they forgot to give it a hitbox, and so it's literally impossible to pick up. It sits there, but you can never get it. And so, as a result, it's 99%, not 100. This level has an objective that shows off a cool, I don't know if you call it an Easter egg, but the background music in this game is coming from these speakers, and you can blow them up, and that dims the music. And if you blow up all of the speakers on the level, then there is no more music. And so you can do that for fun on any level that you want if you really don't like the music, but the music in this game is awesome in my opinion, so why would you ever destroy the speakers? In this level, I have to destroy them, so that's why you would ever destroy them. I'm going to be doing a trick in the near future called hitbox extension. Whenever you're using an animal that has a melee attack, if you use that melee attack, your hitbox is extended in the direction of that attack. And you can use that to hit switches that are underground or through walls, depending on which direction your attack goes. So I'm going to be using the Vulture's melee attack, which goes down, to hit a switch that's underground, and that saves a bunch of time. This level is relatively laggy because of a whirlpool that's below me right now. And so I go into first-person mode there, hitting the Z button, and that will reduce the lag, hopefully. So there's a switch under the ground right here, and if I do my melee attack, I hit it. And right before that cutscene started, I switched back into the Desert Fox, which is another small cutscene skip. I need to grab some health here because this level there's a lot of risk of dying due to all the scorpions. So I'm going to play it safe. So one of the major objectives in this level is to turn all of these X's, or turn all the O's into X's. And you're supposed to raise all 3 platforms, but you can hit the last one just by jumping into the water. And then you can get up to this island if you use your spin attack. Shoutouts to Xandergoth for that strat. I didn't find it myself. Now I'm out of spinning energy. There we go. So yeah, that was the last speaker, and now the background music is gone. So a small note on movement optimization in this game. Some animals that have melee attacks move faster when you're using their melee attack. And the Desert Fox is one of those animals. Unfortunately, if you use its attack for too long, it becomes dizzy and starts zigzagging, so that's slow. But I want to spin as much as possible, so I'll be sort of on again, off again spinning. Additionally, if you spin off cliffs, you have a chance of getting a small speed boost. So you should definitely try to spin off cliffs as much as possible. Also, when you're doing a spin attack, if you jump at the same time, you gain a little bit extra height, and that allows you to get up to certain areas that you're not supposed to get up to, like that platform right there. That was a jump that was first done by Shaw Lightning, so it's called the Shaw jump. Shoutouts to him. I hope you're watching, buddy. Alright, so I'm going to go up onto this tower and butt stomp a vulture. Butt stomping the vulture is faster than punching it, so that's how I'm going to do it. They put pillars around the teleporter in this level, and they intended for you to have to play as a small animal that can jump in order to get to the teleporter. And so you're supposed to use the vulture's grab ability to carry a Desert Fox to the exit, but I'm going to do a trick called the pillar squeeze, which I already did, but what you do is basically the same as what I did with the elephant in the jungle stage, where I use its corpse as a platform to get onto the teleporter. I'm going to try to do a cutscene skip here. It's really tricky, it's frame perfect, so we'll see how it goes. You don't want to fail it too many times because then you just end up bouncing into an inanimate animal. Unfortunately, I failed it second time, but I actually hit the cutscene. I'm not going to be going for any more cutscene skips in this level because, in general, these cutscenes are short, and the cutscene skips are basically frame perfect, as far as I can tell. And you also have to do a setup where you jump out of the animal, so there's a time loss involved in that as well. So it's overall for me, it's not worth it because I can't get frame perfect skips every time. Unfortunately, not good enough yet. But I did try the first one because if you do it, you can actually activate the second cutscene during the first cutscene, and then your cutscene skip is extended to the second cutscene as well. So it's worth going for the first one, but in my opinion, not so much worth going for the other three. If you look in the right-hand side there, there's a, closer to the top now it's gone. There was a skeleton hand there, that's where the teleporter is. You're supposed to have to fly to the exit using a vulture. And to get a vulture, you have to go through this really long platforming section in the level. But fortunately, you get to play as the kangaroo, and the kangaroo can just barely jump onto that platform. So that saves me about 2 minutes of platforming using that jump. So first off, I need to slaughter this kangaroo. There we go. So if you jump just a little bit to the right of this marking on the ground here, or that was the left, sorry, my bad, you can barely make it onto this teleporter and skip 2 minutes. So earlier on when I was talking about the route, I said we're trying to get to Whirlwind Tour as fast as possible to do the Whirlwind Tour skip. This is Whirlwind Tour, and this is the Whirlwind Tour skip. Nope. So what's supposed to happen is I'm going to launch myself against the opposite shore, and if I do it right, then I'll gain a lot of height, and it should carry me right to the part of the level that I need to get to next. And it saves, honestly, probably like 3 or 4 minutes. I haven't timed it myself, but it's essential in a run. I'm doing a setup, but it's not really a setup. I don't know if it actually improves your odds, but I do it to make myself feel better. Unfortunately, to get a world record, you'd probably need to get it first try, and so that's why I try to get to this level. There we go. So yeah, that brings us right up to these desert foxes, which we're going to be using for the rest of the level. Did I not? Oh, there we go. Objective complete. Thank you. Yeah, but basically you almost need to get that first try. Second or third try is passable, but preferable not if you're going to do a world record attempt. And that's why you're going to want to get to this level as quickly as possible so that you can reset when you don't get it. Kangaroo is not supposed to be able to jump, skip 2 of these floating boxes, but if I do it right, I can do the swag jump, and I skip it. So I can cross the river in 2 jumps instead of 3. At this point, I'm going to butt stomp another vulture, and after that, I'll basically be flying to the end of the level, and that's going to take a while because the vulture is slow. So we can read some more donations.
Awesome. We have $5.02 from Hamey96122. Had to donate to mcill, one of my favorite speedrunners. Good luck on the run. And then $20 from Anonymous. Overall, I'm glad that this has been a really awesome and entertaining SGDQ to watch. I'm also glad that I was able to stay up long enough to watch mcill ruin my childhood again. Here's to the double gorilla, and to runner's choice, kill the animals.
All right, double gorilla hype. We'll see how that goes. Okay, we made it. There we go. The next level is really easy to speedrun. because of, I guess, large oversight on the developer's part. This level is really fun casually. It's got an interesting puzzle that you need to solve with a pretty unique solution, I think. And the whole point of solving the puzzle is to get up to a platform that has some kangaroos on it that you need to use. But unfortunately, you don't need to do that puzzle. Or, well, fortunately for speedrunning, unfortunately for the fun of solving the puzzle. If you look off in the distance, there's that staticky TV. I'm going to just use that. I'm going to jump on it and then jump to the area with the kangaroos, skipping the entire puzzle and essentially the whole level. So that's the underappreciated TV jump. Now I'll kill another kangaroo, hopefully before it kills me. So this is the pogo kangaroo, and it's a lot of people's favorite animal because it's really unique. It's got a pogo stick for legs. Its attack is the only one that behaves this way. It's the boomerang. And it's only on this level, so it's got that rarity aspect as well. But people who think that it is the best animal, they're wrong. As I said earlier, the armed desert fox is the best animal. So come at me. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this jump. We'll try it once more. Got it. All right, so coming up is another pillar squeeze. This time I'm going to be using the vulture's corpse instead of a kangaroo's corpse, because that's the animal I happen to be playing as right now. So that was the last normal desert level, I'll say. The final level in each sector plays out a little bit differently. And so you're not given a overall list of objectives that you need to complete to activate a teleporter. You're just sort of told what to do as it comes along. In the case of the desert, it's a boxing match, and you're faced against 3 opponents. First off is the useless camel. After the useless camel, we'll be fighting a super camel. And then after the super camel, I'll be fighting my own brother. You need to knock the animal out 3 times. The first knockout is a 4 count. Second knockout is 7. And then the third knockout is the 10 count and the bell. And so you need to do that as quickly as possible. Additionally, the level is separated into various rounds of 60 seconds each. And if you reach the end of a round, then you get to heal, your opponent gets to heal, and you both walk to your various corners of the level and wait for a little while. And that's basically just slow for me. I don't want to give the opponent any health or any invulnerability frames. So it's important to try to kill the animals all within 1 round. So you got to get 3 knockouts in 1 round. That's really easy to do for the camel and the super camel. But for the kangaroo kill, your brother, it can be difficult. So we'll see how it goes. In order to kill the animals fast, it's actually not important to spam your attack, because you're not limited by how quickly you push the B button. You're actually limited by the amount of energy you have to use your B button ability. And so what that means then is that basically higher accuracy is faster, so you don't waste any of your recharge energy on a missed punch. He took a cheap shot at me. What a jerk.
Do I have time for one quick donation here?
Yeah, you can go ahead. You can read a couple more, actually.
Okay. I have $25 here from Moonlost. Space Station Silicon Valley was my jam back in the day, and I have fond memories playing it with my dad. It is such a fun game, but it's even more fun to watch it get demolished by a pro. With a hidden gem on screen and a good cause needing help, how could I resist donating? Oh, and kill the animals. It's okay. They don't want to be a burden. Probably. And just FYI, because I always find this kind of fascinating, we are currently beating League of Legends in viewers right now on Twitch. No, it's early in the morning. Come on, get some hype up for that.
Yeah, and by the way, shout-outs to Games Done Quick for allowing me to fulfill my life dream of having Space Station Silicon Valley be top of Twitch. I can die happy now.
Yes, we currently have about 70,000 viewers. Watching a game where you kill animals and they're robots.
Kill the animals. The strategy for the kangaroo is a little bit different than the camels. The camels aren't really all that dangerous, so I just sort of face tank any damage that they do to me while bashing them in the face. Unfortunately, the kangaroo is just as strong as me because I am also a kangaroo, so I need to spend time dodging. And then when he runs away from me, then I have a chance to pick him up. And that was actually a one-round kangaroo, which is good. It's not the most impressive thing, but it's still better than a two-round. So what happened there is by beating the level, you spawn a trophy, which happens to be a body part for Evo's shell suit. And so I just picked up his legs. And so throughout the game, we're going to slowly be rebuilding the robot Evo from the start of the game. And that was the first one. So we're on our way. So we just beat the desert, and now we're back in Europe, and we're doing another combat-based level, where it's a level with combat being the primary focus in speedrunning. Reason for that is that first thing I need to do is kill a ram as the mouse, and that's kind of an unfavorable matchup for me. If we were to just fight head-on, the ram would win every time. And then next I need to use the ram to kill the racing dog, and that is again an unfavorable matchup. And this racing dog can be kind of a jerk. I'm going to try to get him stuck in a corner. Oh, and he got stuck in a corner. No, he unstuck himself. That was almost really good. There we go. Pretty good fight. He wasn't too big of a jerk. I'm going to attempt a cutscene skip right here as well. Got it. That was, I think that's frame perfect. I'm going to use the time in the cutscene to kill this bear that's in this cave. And he's dead. You hit this switch and another cutscene starts, and so if I get back into the dog, I can do another cutscene skip here. I don't play this cutscene too aggressively because I can fall off a cliff if I move too far, and then that wastes basically just a ton of time. Now to get to the teleporter, you're supposed to be playing as a sheep to hover to the exit, but I'm going to boost onto the roof of this building and then boost down to the teleporter, which saves me from having to play as a slow animal. So this is Rocky Hard Place, and it's a level that is almost completely skipped. The overall objective of this level is to get into that pen right there and play as a spring ram or a spring sheep. And you're supposed to play through the level to do that, but instead I'm just going to teleport into it as the fox. And so you basically, when you get the spring ram, you have the ability to get to the exit of the level, which is supposed to be activated by this time if you played the level normally. But there's another objective I need to complete, so I can't just head straight to the exit. I'm going to go out of my way here to clip over this fence to turn off the gravity. That's called the gravity clip. If I jump at the top of my, or if I use my spin attack at the top of my jump, I can clip through that fence. Turning off the gravity allows the spring ram to jump way higher than it normally does, and that lets me travel through the level way faster than I normally do. Unfortunately, I have to go all the way across the level to hit this switch, raise some rocks, complete the objective. Now the teleport's activated, so now I can beat the level. I mentioned when I was explaining how this game works that in order to beat the level, you need to complete all of the objectives, which will then activate the teleporter. And that's why I went out of my way to complete that last objective, because the teleporter wasn't activated. That's actually true for every level, but 2 of them. And this is the first of these 2. It's Stinky Sewers. I'm going to be completing 1 objective in this level, and that's actually not what activates the teleporter. Instead, I'm just going to bring the King Rat into the King Rat's lair, and that's what will activate the teleporter. So fortunately, that means I don't need to go through all of this level doing a bunch of random stuff that I don't really want to do. I'm just going to play as the King Rat and get to the exit. I'm doing a skip here where I push this barrel into the water and then ramp off it to get into this vent. And that's where you're supposed to exit as the King Rat. And this bar is here to prevent the dog from getting through. But if you just go backwards through it, then you can get through. So, easy peasy. There's the King Rat and his rat minions. I'm just going to rain missiles on them from above. And again, I'm jumping into and out of the animal to recharge my missiles faster. There we go. So the King Rat's a pretty cool dude. He's got a stink attack, which makes fart noises. As I said with the hippo, there's a lot of poop in this game, and this level is no exception, being the sewers. He also has the ability to get his rat minions to attack. I don't have any rat minions right now because I killed them all. But they would follow me around if they were alive, and then I could sick them on my enemies. So here's the King Rat's lair, and once I step inside, the teleporter will activate, and that saves me a bunch of time, because if this level is actually really big, so having to complete all of the objectives would be slow, I guess. So that was the first level where you don't need to complete all of the objectives. This level actually happens to be the second one. They're side by side. This is the Rat-O-Matic. This is probably my favorite level casually, but I'm going to be skipping the entire thing using a series of skips. 3, I guess. What I need to get to the teleporter in this case is a mouse. There's a mouse behind this second door on the right. And I can kill it using the Rat King's fart attack. And so you can monitor the progress of me killing it using the blue bar on the bottom left. You can hear it moving around as well. I need to kill it when it's in the right spot, otherwise I won't be able to transition into it. There we go. So I can go through that door. Now I'm playing as the mouse, but I can't get back out because the door is locked. So I activate this mouse sucker, which brings me to the Rat-O-Matic. And this is how you're supposed to do the level, actually. You're supposed to go into the Rat-O-Matic and then blow it up. What I'm going to be doing, though, is I did a small bit of movement as I got sucked up, which glitches the game a bit. And so instead of being dropped down and into the Rat-O-Matic, I'm going to be popped up and out of it. And that basically prevents me from having to get out of the Rat-O-Matic a different way. Saves a bunch of time. There we go. Lastly, I need to clip through this door, which is blocked. And the clip is not hard. You just sort of keep bashing your head against the wall until you go in. So then you hit this switch, and that lowers a door, which brings you to the exit without completing a single objective, which I think is pretty cool. There's probably some time for some donations if you want to go ahead and read some.
Yeah, sure. We have $100 from Jared98. I knew that I would donate at some point, but I didn't expect that a Space Station Silicon Valley run would catch my attention. mcill, you rock. I love what I'm seeing, and thank you for the amazing commentary. Excellent work.
Thanks for donations, everybody. This is the final, the boss stage of Europe. And so again, it's slightly different than the rest of the levels. It's basically Superman 64 at first. You got to fly through the rings, but it's a better game than Superman 64. The path is pretty much laid out, but there's this slight deviation I'm going to do right here. I'm going to go out of my way to pick up this boost. This is a trick called the soap boost. And that's named after Solidus Soap, who used to speedrun this game. We heard a donation that mentioned his name as well earlier. He used to do that, and so I stole that strat from him, but I also named it after him, so I don't think it's plagiarism. So that was the last ring, and now we're in a combat section. We got to kill some dogs first, and these dogs are really easy to kill. You just shoot them, and then when they fly by you, you do a reversal and keep shooting them. Not difficult, not really all that dangerous. When you kill 4, these 3 rocket foxes spawn, and these rocket foxes are incredibly dangerous. Their missile attacks do way more damage than they should. They're homing, and the rocket foxes are also faster than you. So my strat for killing them is basically to try to get them up against a wall and use the wall to catch up, I guess. Fortunately, when you kill 1 fox, 3 more flying dogs will spawn, and because I didn't have a very good rocket fox kill, I'll just kill a couple more dogs. When you kill enough animals, your torso spawns, and you get to pick that up and beat the level. This was an okay one, so I'm gonna guess a 1:57. 2 minutes, okay. My best time, I actually got a 1:44 2 days ago, which is the best I've ever done by quite a bit. Normally a good one is 1:55-ish. So that's 2 body parts down and 2 sectors down as well. So now we're going to be back in the Arctic. This level doesn't really have anything interesting going on in it. I'm basically just going to play through the level the way it was intended. But while I play through it, I'll explain to you guys different ways you can play Space Station Silicon Valley. Obviously, you can play it on the N64, which is what we're doing it right now, and that's the best way to play the game. Your other option is if you don't have your N64, you don't have your cart with you at the time, you can also emulate it. The emulated version of this game is not as good as the regular version. There's some graphical errors. You can't see power cells, and there's a few things that look a little bit glitchy. But it's definitely playable. So if you don't have your N64 copy, you can try the emulator. This game was also ported to the Game Boy Color and to PlayStation 1. The Game Boy Color version is also called Space Station Silicon Valley. And it's obviously not a direct port because you can't have the same, I guess the Game Boy Color doesn't have the same processing power as the N64, so you have to go to a 2D game. But if you're a fan of the N64 version, it's well worth checking out the Game Boy version. It's a pretty good adaptation, I'd say. Finally, you can play the game on PlayStation 1. They renamed the game, though. It's called Evo's Space Adventure. And that port is not recommended. They ruined the graphics. They cut out some levels that they didn't feel like adding. And I don't even think you can... Well, you can beat it, but it's not satisfying, we'll put it that way. If you're looking to have a good time, play Space Station Silicon Valley. If you're looking to have a bad time, play Evo Space Adventure. That's all I can say. This piano is, it's a pretty normal pattern following segment, but the piano itself is a little bit annoying because if you hit the buttons too fast, the game will glitch out. It will not read one of the inputs, and so you have to play it slow, otherwise you'll get a bum note and have to replay the tune. Okay, this level is Hoppa Choppa, and it's got one skip in it, and then the rest of it is combat strategy. So we start the level off as normal. We're stuck in this small area of the map as a regular penguin, and we need to get into the king penguin, which can then fly out. So we just got to hover down to it. I'm not going to go out the normal way. I'm going to go and clip through this wall on the left. If you fly high enough, you can clip over it right about here. And if you do it right, you land on this rabbit, and you can butt stomp it to death. So now I'm in the combat portion of the level. I need to kill all of the turrets, and I need to kill all of the huskies. Generally, I'm going to just be doing flybys of these animals, because I'm actually walking away from the exit right now. And so I'm going to need to make my way back this way anyway. And so I'd rather do flybys, because that allows me to recharge my bomb dropping ability energy. And so again, the important thing for killing these animals and the turrets is accuracy, not your ability to spam the B button, because you can spam way faster than you have energy to spam for. So you just do one flyby on the way there, one flyby on the way back. And I don't think I killed him. There we go. And that's faster than killing all of the animals on the way there and then flying straight back.
One donation here really quick.
Sure.
We have $60 from Julian S. Space Station Silicon Valley was the sleeper hit of my childhood. Great to see a wonderfully broken game, broken even more.
Thank you. We've got something fishy here. This is the only majorly underwater level in the game. And so I can tell you how to go fast underwater. Both of the fish in the game have the ability to jump with the B button and the ability to swim with the A button. If you hold the A button, though, you go really slow like this. And so if you want to go fast, you have to tap the A button, and that lets you swim faster. So I'll basically be tapping the A button for the most part. I'm going to be doing a skip here. First off, I'm going to jump over this barrier, which is sort of unintended. If I do it a little bit incorrectly, they'll say access denied. But I guess I jumped over that. Next thing I'm going to be doing is the cod escape. Oh, there's the access denied. Thanks, game. By beaching the cod and then jumping out of it, I can climb up this slope and hit a switch at the top, which will complete an objective. And by doing those two skips, jumping over the door and getting out of the cod here, I basically skip the major puzzle in this level, which saves probably, I don't know how much time. It's in the minutes, though. It's a lot. This level generates a lot of lag, probably just because of the amount of water in it. And so you go really slow relative to other levels. It's hard to notice because this is the only instance you really play as the fish for an extended period of time. But if you play as a fish on any other level, the fish goes way faster. Like a lot faster. It's astounding how much lag is here. I don't know if there are any other donations right now. I'm basically just going to be freeing some fish and heading to the exit. So if there are any more donations, you can go ahead and read them.
There are none currently. However, or at least none to read on air, but we are getting all your donations, whether or not they are actually read. But we are raising, this is Summer Games Done Quick 2015. We are raising money for Doctors Without Borders. And there are several things you can donate towards, and you can check that out. All the information you can ever need about this event is at gamesdonequick.com. And this music's amazing. I have to like sit here and not hum along with it. I'm trying very, very hard, but it's really hard.
It's one of the major barriers to entry for speedrunning this game, actually, so I know that feel.
Oh, and just by the way, people are very happy you're awake and you're alive. I'm just letting you know, so. For the gentleman on the couch. Mashy, right? Yeah.
So this is the final Arctic level, Wall Race 64. Shoutouts to Wave Race 64. What I'm going to do is start in front of this orange guy because he's a jerk and he steals my boost. It is my boost, by the way, not his. So I start in front of him so that I get it, and then that's pretty much the only thing I do to try to go faster. The Walrus's ability on his A button is a speed boost in and of itself, but it doesn't really do all that much on this level unless you pick up one of the get out of here unless you pick up one of the speed boost orbs here. If you pick up the speed boost orb and then use your speed boosting ability, you go even faster. And so I generally only use my speed boost while I have the speed boost orb activated. The controls in this racing game are really unlike other racing games. Your ability to turn isn't affected at all by how quickly you're going. So you kind of have to get over that natural instinct to try to slow down as you go around corners, because that's just making you go slow. That was actually a really good race as far as I can tell. So while this cutscene plays, I actually regain control of the walrus, I think right about now, and I'm going to try to pick up the trophy during the cutscene. Sounds like I got it, so I can head to the exit. I know I got it based on an audio cue. You can hear the sound of you picking it up. That saves a little bit of time. So that's 3 body parts down, 1 to go. And we're back in the jungle. So earlier on in the jungle, I did a glitch called, what was it called? Gorilla jumping. And that, of course, you need to use a gorilla. And so this level, I'm going to be doing some more gorilla jumping. So I got to kill this gorilla. It's not my favorite way to kill a gorilla. It's kind of out of the way. But a quick reminder of what a gorilla jump is. You need to have a gorilla holding an object, and then you position it under the place that you want to jump to. So I'll grab this box and put it under this tree. And now I need the animal to jump on the gorilla's back. And I'm going to use the lion for that. The whole point of this first gorilla jump is to get an objective completed. There's an elephant stuck in the tree that I need to get out of the tree. And that's actually the last objective you're supposed to complete on this level, but it's faster for me to complete it now, so that's how we do. I'm going to do one more gorilla jump on this level, and so I need to take my gorilla with me to the other side of this level. And jump up this cliff just ahead of me. There we go. All right, so the last objective is to kill and play as a piranha. And I'm going to do that, but the teleporter is underwater. And so what you're supposed to do is play as the elephant. This is not really good, is it? I'll do backup strats. My original plan was to push the... I can do it now. Yay! Never mind. This is my original plan. I'm going to be pushing the piranha to the exit. And... yeah, then I can get to the exit as the piranha instead of the elephant. So that's why the elephant is supposed to be the last objective you complete. It's because then you can just walk straight to the exit. But that's the slow way of doing it. All right, we got one more normal level in the game, and then the boss level for the jungle, and then the overall last level. But this is Jungle Jumps, and Jungle Jumps is a pretty smooth level in general if you do it properly. If you do not do it properly, it can be a serious pain. I almost screwed up right there by knocking the hyena into the pit of lava. If you knock an opponent into lava, they don't die. They just sort of sit there, I guess. And so I need to kill both of the hyenas. If one of them falls in the lava, it's not dead, and I can't complete the objective anymore. So one of the objectives is to collect these keys. So there's 3 keys. That was one of them. I'm going to be doing a skip here called the key jump. I'll line myself up on this jump, and then hold right, and that brings me up onto this. Got it, thank you. And that saves probably about 15 seconds overall. Apart from getting the last key, I have one more objective, and that's to kill these gorillas. If I do it right, I can group them up and get them both with the AoE of my missiles. I failed that, unfortunately. That was the double gorilla that a couple of the donations have been mentioning, but yeah, I failed you guys. I'm sorry. Somehow I'm not damaging this guy with every missile. That's interesting. There we go. So the double gorilla is a pretty big time save, but it's not that easy to group the gorillas up. And if you want to take the time to do that, then it's actually just slower than killing them individually. So I don't worry about it too much, but maybe eventually there will be a setup. The last little bit of this level is actually some platforming. There is way more platforming in this game than what you saw in the run. I skipped most of it because it's generally slow, but there's no skip for this little platforming section as of yet. You can do a cutscene skip here, and it's always going to save time, but I'm not good at it. It seems frame perfect, and the hitbox for that key grows and shrinks as the key grows and shrinks, so it becomes even more difficult for that reason. I also don't do it because I regain control of the animal halfway through the cutscene for whatever reason. So even though the cutscene is long, and it seems like a cutscene skip would be more worthwhile as a result, only half of that cutscene is you only lose control of your animal for the first half of that cutscene. So that was the last normal level. Next level is called Evo's Escape. In this level, Evo rebels against Dan, and you need to hunt him down. So there's Evo, and he hops into a chameleon and runs away, but I'm skipping that cutscene. Basically what this turns into is a rail shooter. I have the ability to shoot darts with the A button, and the ability to move through the rail shooter faster with the B button. So I'm going to be holding the B button the whole time, unless I end up playing really poorly, in which case I'll have to let go. I'm also just going to reduce lag here. There's a bunch of hyenas below me, and they cause a lot of lag as a result. Hyenas are also only worth 100 points, so they're not really worth killing, so I just skip that section. To beat this level, I need to get 12,100 points, and if I get that, then when I reach the end of the level, Evo will spawn, and then I get to kill him. Most of the points come from carpet bombing these fish. And then there's another area with some more fish in it, which I will also be launching missiles at. And then right after the second pool, there will be a shooting gallery section, which has another 4,000 or 5,000 points that I can collect. With the shooting gallery, I'm aiming for the turtles because they're worth 500 points, and the chameleons on the back row are also worth 500 points. There's no real benefit to trying to kill the chameleons. It's just harder. I'm also killing every other turtle instead of trying to kill every turtle, because it's also pretty hard to kill every turtle as it comes. If you play really well, you can get 4 of the 5 between the 2 boxes. So it goes, the order goes 5 turtles, 1 box, 5 turtles, 1 box. So you can kill 3 of the 5 really easily. Additionally, there's not really any reason to get more than 12,100 points. So if you want to be a perfectionist and kill every turtle, that's good on you, but there's no benefit speedrunning wise.
Would now be a good time for some donations?
Yeah, sure.
Cool. Sour Spinach donated $68.99. Space Station Silicon Valley is awesome, but quite the bloodbath. We'd better save the animals in Super Metroid to compensate. $50 from Exotic Mandibles. Having a great time watching Grand Theft Auto Cartoon Space Zoo. $30 from the locals. So many childhood memories come back every time this event is on. Keep up the great hard work, guys and girls. $50 from Voluptuous. I am so sleepy, but we in this, and I have money, so there we go. And finally, $20 from Nux63. I loved this game on my old N64 as a kid, but I don't think I got very far into it as I don't remember a lot of these levels. I think I spent most of my time flying around with the amazing Rabbit helicopter. Keep up the good work. Also, in honor of this game, kill all the animals! And one more from Jeffrey C. for $20. Space Station Silicon Valley is one of the few N64 games I had as a child that I simply could not beat. So to see this amazing game crushed in this manner brings me all kinds of joy. Totally worth staying up until 4 a.m. for. Since we're killing animals this morning, save the other animals. And that, if you don't know, is a donation incentive in Super Metroid. You can kill or save the animals. It raises a lot of money every year. And you can find the donation tracker on gamesdonequick.com if you want to know other things you can bid towards.
All right, so we beat all of the levels in the space station, and we're on to the last level. So suddenly the plot rears its ugly head again. By doing what I did, I somehow saved the Earth, and there's giant fireworks and everything. And surprise, surprise, there's an evil genius mastermind behind this fiendish plot. There's an evil brain controlling the space station, and he has a, what's it called? Doomsday-o-matic Shrinky Ray, and he's going to attack the Earth with it. This is actually the first mention of the evil brain in the game. It's also the only mention of it, so this comes as big a surprise to me as it does to you. But we have reassembled Shell Suit Evo, and so we get to play as the most powerful character in the game for the last level only. Evil Brain's kind of a creepy dude. As you can see, he loves the walk we walk. He loves the talk we talk. He's been watching us for quite some time. He's also shrinking the Earth, so that's not good. But anyway, it sounds more like he wants me. He wants my body. I'm going to say no to that and shoot him in the face with some lasers. So if you thought we were playing Space Station Silicon Valley, it turns out you're mistaken. We're playing Super Metroid, so we got to kill Mother Brain. And so this is quite an intense fight where you hold B the whole time. Now there's actually a cutscene that plays, but you can skip it after that second text box appears by replaying the level. And that cutscene shows the space station crashing into Earth. So this is the aftermath of that. The space station is now crashed in New York Harbor, and some animals have escaped, and they're causing destruction. So we need to kill these animals. So once again, if you thought this was Space Station Silicon Valley, no. It's Super Metroid, and we kill the animals. So there's 52 animals in this level. And they don't all spawn at once. They spawn in a specific order. The first thing I'm going to do, though, is try to kill some flying animals. There's a few roaming animals at the start of this level, and they're the most annoying ones because they roam around the level, making their location a little bit random. That was one of them. The flying ones actually don't have random locations. They fly in circles, but I still try to prioritize them, at least at the start. If I don't kill them initially, then I do sort of ignore them. But other than the flying animals and the other roaming animals, there are a bunch of sheep that spawn in the middle of the map at first. Once you've killed enough animals, then some mice will spawn. And then killing more will spawn some frogs, then some rats, then some dogs, and finally some foxes. And once all the foxes are dead, this level's over. This level can be really annoying because you get very rare chances to look at your health. Every time Dan talks to you, he takes away your health bar, and so you're often not aware of how much health you have left. As a result, you can get into some very, very scary situations health-wise. So at all possible opportunities, you should be looking down at the bottom left to see how much health you have left and how much health you need to pick up before you die. Really, though, this level speedrunning-wise is not all that dangerous so long as you pay a little bit of attention. Yeah, if you don't get careless, then you should be okay. I'm playing as Bronze Shell Suit Evo right now, and the power cells that I talked about when I was discussing 99% have a second function, which is to power up Shell Suit Evo at the end of the game. But it doesn't power up for every cell you pick up. It only powers up in 2 increments. First, when you reach 250 power cells, that turns Bronze Evo into Silver Evo. And then if you collect all 390, then you upgrade to Gold Evo. And the upgrades improve Evo in every way. You walk faster, you jump higher, you have more health, your laser is stronger, just you name it, he's got it. Unfortunately, overall, it's slower to try to upgrade Evo for the any % route, so I'm stuck playing as Bronze Evo. But if you do manage to collect all 390 power cells, this level becomes way easier, and it's an absolute pleasure to play as Gold Evo. So I'm looking forward to some 99% runs when SGDQ is done. And 9 animals remaining. I always get a little bit worried here because occasionally the game can glitch out and spawn an animal out of bounds, so I just don't get to kill it. I think this is the one animal that I'm missing, though. This is the roaming rat king. I just never saw him until that point, and so that's why basically you want to kill the roaming animals as soon as you find them, because otherwise you'll have to spend a lot of time looking around the level. I'm trying to prioritize this rocket fox right here because, as I said earlier when we saw some rocket foxes, they do way too much damage, so they can kill you pretty easily. I think I got him. All right, let's kill these foxes. Is that the last one? There's one more. Just got to make sure that it didn't happen. If it happened, ooh. So that's where the animal would spawn if it spawns out of bounds. Hopefully there's a dog or something I missed, though. I don't know. Can I get a... what am I looking for here? What's the status on our time? Oh, no, there's the fox. Never mind. We're good. Thank goodness. If I had to reset the level there, you lose basically 7 minutes, and I'd probably end up overestimate as a result. But there was the last fox. We did it. We saved the world, or rather Dan saved the world, and I sort of helped. The ending of this game is non-existent because they sold it to buy a new spaceship for Dan. But that's it then. So thanks for watching, everybody. Very appreciative to be here. Time is going to be after this text box disappears, by the way. There we go.
1:23:10.
All right. Pretty simple. The world record, by the way, is 19 minutes, or 1 hour, 19 minutes, and 17 seconds. But that was Space Station Silicon Valley. I enjoyed playing. I hope you enjoyed watching. And thanks again for letting me be here. One last shout out to World 9 Gaming for letting me borrow their N64 because I came prepared, but my N64 didn't. So huge thanks to them. All right.
Thank you very much for that run of Space Station Silicon Valley. That was one of the runs I was really looking forward to, and I'm happy to have hosted it. We are Summer Games Done Quick 2015, raising money for Doctors Without Borders. And we're going to play a quick ad here from one of our sponsors, Tiny Build.
No time to explain. Follow me to... Oh, Christ! Ah!